It is no doubt that GPUs are the most expensive and most sought after PC component. So it's no surprise that they are also the biggest target for scams and people that are not honest. So lately I have seen just so much bad stuff happening in terms of people trying to scam retailers and even other people on the used market when it comes to graphics cards. So today I'm telling you the two most popular things that I've seen and how you can identify them and avoid them. This is especially important if you're a PC flipper or if you have a shop, of course, and if you sell computers, because if you sell a single graphics card, people are less likely to try and scam you on it, because you know all your attention is going to be focused on the graphics card. But if you sell a whole PC and people say they have a problem, you may not think that they swapped out your graphics card or did something even worse. So with that said, let's get started. Now, welcome back at ImWateringPSUs, and I have started recently doing a series with PC flipping tips. As you guys know, if you've seen the previous episodes, I have recently stopped selling computers. The reasons are explained in the dedicated video, but I know quite a lot about it because I've been doing it for years and even started a company based around selling computers. Things like these weren't as prominent in the past. I actually never encountered this until probably just 2 years ago. The most common thing I see is people buy a computer from you, if you're a shop or a retailer, then they swap out the graphics card with an identical one, and then they call you and they tell you that the PC has a broken GPU or the PC has a problem. They don't even tell you it has a broken GPU, so you can just diagnose it yourself and see it's a broken GPU, and they're gonna try and claim it under warranty. Now, most shops and also me, what we do is we put basically an identifier on the card. So it may be a little sticker like the brands do, or it may be you just mark a little end of the card so you can check if it's the same card. Now that's the easiest way to avoid this, and that is basically just find a place that's not very in sight, and then using a marker of a color you decide, you just mark it. So if the cards come back, you can just check if that's the GPU you sold to the guy. But really, that's the easiest thing to spot. What I've seen lately is something crazy. So here is some footage of me trying to demonstrate you what people do, okay? Here I had an RTX 3070 Ti from Asus TUF, and then I also had an RX 7800 XT. Okay, now these are from different brands, so completely different cards. Unfortunately, I did not have two identical cards, whereas these scammers, they do it with the same card. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna de-shroud the card, remove the shroud, remove the backplate, swap out the backplate and shroud, where we also have all the identification codes on the card pretty much, and then give you the card back. And they also do this if you're buying or selling a card like on eBay. You're gonna claim the card doesn't work and send you back a different card, but you're gonna think it's the same card. Now, of course, my video here is not the best because I wasn't intending on actually doing it, but I was just gonna show you that even if we have an AMD and NVIDIA card, they look very similar. So you can just imagine if I wanna, for example, scam you and I have a 3070 Ti broken, and I just buy a working one and I swap it, it's gonna be very difficult for you to check it. But here's how you can identify it. So the cards have a little sticker down here on the bottom, right here. And the sticker there has a unique serial number. So if the scammer wants to do this, they also have to replace that. So if they are very stupid and they don't replace it, you can just check that the serial number doesn't match the backplate. But if they're smart and they go ahead and replace it, these stickers are made to be impossible to replace perfectly. So if you just look at it, you can see that it's not the original sticker. You're still gonna have issues because you need to prove this to the customer, but this comes to my second tip and probably the most important tip you can get. So if you're selling a card, you wanna take video footage of the card in every angle before selling it. And it's also good you do it if you're putting it into a PC. Now, of course, it's easy for me because I make YouTube videos, so I've always done this and it comes natural. I don't even do it on purpose, I just have footage of stuff so I can just look at it if needed. But even if you're not an influencer, you should just go ahead and take pictures, detailed pictures of all the serial numbers, all the stickers, so you can claim that it's not what you sold initially. And also, in case you want to stop this from happening, I please ask you to stop buying cards on the used market without serial number, because if they are without serial number, it means they probably did this scam to someone else. So if you're basically buying stolen cards, pretty much. And if you buy them, you're basically allowing the scammer to profit of the scam. So if you don't buy cards with a serial number and you also, of course, avoid getting scammed yourself, we can combat this. And this is the most important thing, hands down. Now, I've also seen, well, heard of people getting scammed because they replace the CPU in their system. So especially if you're selling whole computers, you need to be very careful, because another classic thing they do is, depending on where you live and how you work, you may offer, for example, a 3-day or 7-day return of what you sell for whatever reason, like Amazon does pretty much. Somebody may buy a PC off of you and then be like, listen man, I want to return it, and you're gonna be like, okay, no problem. And you get the PC back, but they changed out maybe your RAM or your CPU. This is also something that I saw happen, unfortunately, and you should be very mindful of. But when it comes to GPU, so staying on topic, the last scam is gonna be as follow. So you're gonna buy a graphics card and you're gonna think it's a certain model. For example, you think it's gonna be a 4080 Super, like we have here, but they actually flashed the BIOS in the card and swapped out the card, and the card is actually a 4070. This is actually more common than people think, because if you just buy the card, you plug it into your PC and you boot it, it has good performance, it's from latest gen, it looks the same, the name is the same, you're gonna think it's the same card. So it's very important that if you buy something, you go ahead and benchmark it to actually see that the performance is on par with what you're buying. It's basically like the those scam from China where they sell you basically renamed GTX 580s, but they're actually like an old ATI card, but they just BIOS flash them. Now I've started to see those on RTX 4000 as well. So triple check that what you're buying is correct before paying, or at least before confirming the order if you bought it online. And this is it. Unfortunately, it's not the best video to make, not the happiest, but you need to know this if you're buying used stuff, and especially if you're selling used stuff, because you want to avoid getting scammed. As usual, most important part of my videos is the comments. So I'd really like you guys, if you watched the video this far, to tell me if you encountered any of this, maybe something that I haven't mentioned, so people can go in the comments, take a look, and avoid getting scammed themselves. And with that said, I hope to see you guys again. Let me know if you're liking this PC flipping tips, PC buying tips series, and maybe drop a like and subscribe, and see you guys another time. Bye bye.